The inline grading example works with assignments. So when you create an assignment, you then have the opportunity to have the students, when they turn their assignment in, to attach a file, or they can actually type in information. So when you create your assignment, it doesn't really change how you create your assignment to do inline grading. It just changes how it looks when a student goes in to actually put in their assignment. They have to make sure that they do the attachment other than just typing in information. They can't, if they type in a submission, then the inline grading function does not work. They have to actually attach their file with that Word document, PowerPoint, Excel, or PDF file. And then once they do attach that grade, that assignment, that file into that particular assignment, then when you go into your grade center and then find that assignment in the grade center, here's that inline grading example. You find that assignment that was turned in, and it'll say it needs grading. When you then look at that particular attempt, then it'll bring up the document, and you will have a couple options. One is you could just read the document and then give the learner feedback over here. Or you could download the document. You have the download button up here, which allows you to download the document. Or you could do, which is the newest function, is what's called commenting. And those commenting options are built into this user interface. You have a point comment, an area comment, or a text comment, so you can actually find a particular point on the screen you want to comment on. And so maybe for score, and maybe I want to say that that's a particularly old phrase, so I want to comment on that. And then you'll, let's go back up here. Here we go. And then you have a couple of options. In the commenting area, you have a draw option. When you use the draw option, you'll be able to draw shapes on the screen. So if I wanted to circle this particular paragraph, I could circle the paragraph. And then I would then be able to complete that, and now that would be part of my commenting piece. I can highlight, so I can select text, and I can highlight text in particular colors, and so you have a whole variety of colors that you can choose from in your highlighting. I guess you have 4 that you can choose to highlight in. You can highlight particular text. When you actually type in, you can type in a text box, and then that will show up, and of course you can have different colors of text, different sizes. Those are available there. Or you can actually do the strikeout of a particular text, and maybe I want them to see the of, by, and for the people. I want to maybe have them stop there, so I could then select this last phrase. Sometimes the selection function, there we go. It's kind of closer to the bottom of that. There we go. So then that's struck out, and then I would be able to type in a comment on that as well. And so all those, and I can move that. I think I can move that comment around so it's underneath. There we go. Yep. So all those commenting functions are now a part of the document that the student would see. Sometimes you might want to get rid of this left margin, get rid of the left controls over there in order to have a little bit more room to be able to do your work in. So you can then zoom in and zoom out a little bit more so you can see your information a little bit better. And then the greater feedback on this right-hand side allows you to go in and type in information here. So these are comments that will go back to the student. And then you also, if you want to, then you can grade up here as well. I mean, you go up here and put the grade in. Type in what the grade might be up here. You can also put in what are called grader notes. So these grading notes, these notes are just for you and not for the student. So these are only you see, and they'll be kept with this particular assignment, but they're just for your information. They both have spell check that go with them as well. At any point, you could save this as a draft down here, and then come back to it. If not, and you're ready, then you can go to submit, and you can submit that, and then the students would actually see that information. If you kind of just want to start over again, up here on the very top, there's an exit, which will get out and not save what you've done. And here it tells you that are you sure you want to go, because this won't be saved, and I want to go because I'm not going to save this. But that's how you can actually save the information, is by using that, either that save as function, save as draft function, or the that submit function so the students can see it. Also, in the assessing area, besides inline grading, we have the anonymous grading function. You go into any particular ability to grade anything. So when you go to your grade center, you're going to go ahead and grade something that's in the grade center. Then you can anonymously grade that information, so then you won't know which student you're actually grading. So you turn that function on, and you'll see student 1, student 2, student 3, etc. And then you won't see the students' names until the grading is all done. So if you do want to have that anonymous feature, then that would be an option you have. Rubrics is the last piece of this particular area. It talks about going in and having the ability to give your students kind of a layout, a set of standards by which you're going to do your grading. You can do rubrics two different ways. One is when you go up to course tools. When you're in the course tools area, you'll see that there is a rubric option in the course tools area, and basically so you can make your rubrics kind of like making a test, make them ahead of time and then connect them to something. So if you do want to create a rubric, you can go in and give the rubric a name, whatever your rubric is related to. You know, if you're having a particular assignment like that, we have that inline grading assignment, so this might be my inline rubric. And then I would then put it in any description I want to have in there. I can put in there, and then the actual rubric is down at the bottom. It's a grid pattern where you have all of your levels of achievement across the top, and those are all editable. So if you don't like the word novice, you can edit that and make it any word you want. If you want to have less columns, you can go in and you can delete columns as well, so you can have as many columns as you want. Take away from the 3, or you can add more columns, so you can have as many levels of achievement as you want to. And then the criteria is the rows that go across, and of course each one of those are editable as well, so you can change the words to say anything you want, and have as least number as you want, up to 1 minimum, so you can delete things. Or if you want more rows to have more criteria, you can add those as well. And then the junction of each criteria and each level of achievement then is the documentation, or the information. You know, what is a novice level of formatting? What's a competent level? What's a proficient level? And then you fill all those boxes in, and that will be your grading structure you're using. And you can also decide, it's also editable, whether you use percentages, which is what comes by default, or do you want to use points or no points at all. It's just kind of a piece of information to share with the students, but not actually going to give them a point range or percentage range as to what the information is. And you can, once you've made those decisions, you can adjust all those. And even after you've done all this work, when it actually comes to the showing of the students, you can decide whether to show this whole rubric to students or not. So you can have it, but then not show it to them if you don't want to. So once those are done, I'm not going to create one here, but I'm going to go back and show you the other way. So once those are done, they would be a listing of rubrics here. The other way you can do a rubric is in the actual assignment itself. So if I go into the inline grading assignment and edit that, then one of the options inside that particular assignment near the grading area, so here's the grading number of points, is to create a rubric here. So I could either select from an existing set of rubrics, or I could create a new rubric here as well. So those are the two ways you can make rubrics: either make them from the tool area and then assign them to something, or go into that particular thing wherever there's a grading opportunity, assignments, discussion boards, papers, etc., and then add your rubric there.